We are about to start now. Just for the record, I'm Temba Kupula. I'm providing media and communication support to the Ad Hoc Committee to nominate a person for appointment of the public protector. And I'm here with the chairperson, Dr. Makosi Khoza. We just first want to welcome you and thank you for honoring this briefing. The briefing is really about giving an update about where the committee is in terms of the process and the steps the committee is going to take going forward in ensuring that it fulfills its mandate. Without any further ado, I will hand over to the chairperson to take us through. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. I must say that your interest in this position has been enormous, and I think it's very good for our own democracy. And I just want to extend my appreciation as well to all those people that have managed to nominate. And obviously, as you know, this Ad Hoc Committee was established to nominate a person for the appointment of public protector and has thus far received 21 nominations and applications for the position of the public protector. The nominations received include, among others, the current serving public protector and Advocate Tulima Donsela, as well as her deputy, Advocate Kevin Malunga. Advocate Madonsela's name was nominated in spite of the legislative constraints, as you all know, which limit an incumbent to occupy this office for only one term. Names of all nominations and applications will be published in the week after the 24th June deadline. The names will be made public on Parliament's website and social media platforms, and there will be an email address where people can send their comments or objections. When sending their comments or objections, members of the public are encouraged to disclose their identity, as anonymous sources will make it difficult for the committee to verify the objections. The committee would also like to appeal to members of the public to supply CVs or contact details of a person they are nominating in order to allow the committee an opportunity to confirm acceptance of a nomination and source the relevant documentation before the 24th June deadline. I must say, even at this point, that we actually have nominations that have come in from members of the public, but unfortunately we haven't, the person who is nominated has not said whether they are accepting the nomination or not. So we have now established a mechanism by which to get whether that person accepts the nomination or not. I have authorized the staff to contact the person who has nominated, as well as the one who has been nominated, to indicate whether they are available for the position and to supply us with their curriculum vitae. Once more, the committee would like to remind members of the public to ensure that they nominate if they nominate their candidate, they must nominate prior to the 24th or on the 24th of June 2016. With 2016 being an election year, the committee is mindful of the hectic schedule committee members, and as such will be flexible to shift some dates that were originally scheduled. In fact, right now we've just felt that we were going to meet, we were thinking that we could meet soon after 10 days from now, but it's very clear that it may not be possible because of a range of other political factors that are happening, and some members may not be available. So the committee has thus far undertook to ensure that shortlisting and interview processes will be conducted in time for the committee to table its preferred candidate to the National Assembly by the 31st August 2016. Further details of when exactly the committee will be meeting will be communicated in due time. I thank you very much for your interest.
All right, that's the statement. Thank you, Chairperson. Colleagues, at this point, we are going to take questions. We'll take 2 rounds because I think the statement is self-explanatory. We will start. Any takers? Okay. 1, Gay, Sia, and Siwe, and you, ma'am. So there's 4 hands. So in that order, colleagues, just for the chairperson, I know you guys, but just for the chairperson, just your name and the media house you are representing. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Can I start, Timber? Oh. Gay Davis, Eyewitness News. Madam Chair, I wonder if you could just inform us whether you received the letter from the coalition of NGOs that Corruption Watch wrote to you requesting more time for public comment, whether you'd give any consideration to that. I think they asked for another week. And they also requested that the CVs of the nominees be made public, published on Parliament's website or furnished to them to make public. Can you tell us whether you've considered that request and what the position is? Thanks.
Good afternoon. My name is Siyabonga Mkhwanazi from Independent Newspapers. Just wanted to know from the chair, just 2 questions. One, who has nominated the public protector, the current public protector, Thuli Madonsela? And whether perhaps you could also give us an indication who are the other nominees, other than Kevin Malunga and Thuli Madonsela, who have been nominated? Because you mentioned 21 names. Thank you.
But do we know how many nominations did the incumbent get? There's a lot of people wanted to continue. Yeah.
I'm covered, thanks.
Hi, Chantal from the African News Agency. Just the people that have made nominations, are they just individuals? Or do we have NGOs? Are there political parties? Who are the people making the nominations so far?
Okay. Thank you, colleagues. Chairperson, when you are ready, we can tackle the questions. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you very much. On the question of whether we've received the letter from the Corruption Watch, yes, we have. And they've requested the extension date for public comments. We have considered that matter. However, we felt that in as much as we would like to, there is no harm basically in receiving whatever comments that people may have before the actual shortlisting process. But we would love to stick to the date that we have, the timelines we have given. Whoever that may still wish to supply us with the information, they can also write to us if it's posted that date. It does nothing basically to the process. So, and as long as it is before the shortlisting process, that information is going to be key. I'm mentioning the importance of sticking to the date because you know, you want people, you also wanted to have an opportunity to deal with those kinds of objections. If we receive the objections closer to the time of the shortlisting or maybe a day before the shortlisting process, you might actually find that we will not be able to do, to conduct sufficient, we won't have sufficient time to do a verification process of that objection. The other question that you wanted to know is around the 21 names that have been nominated, and who has nominated those people. The nominations have largely, interestingly, we've received nominations that are coming from members of the public, largely. We haven't, if I'm not wrong, Temba, we haven't received any nomination so far that is coming from a political party or an organization. And to me, I think it's also good because it kind of depoliticizes the process in a way. We've received very interesting nominations, and I must tell you, this committee is going to have a very difficult time in deciding who is going to be shortlisted, because almost looking at the qualifications of those people, of all the people that have already been nominated thus far, they are all very competent individuals, and we are going to have to manage that process very carefully, and ensuring that in the process, we don't end up, discarding people that are very important, that would probably be making this office more effective. The other people that have applied, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to tell you who are the other people that have applied. We were just telling you about Advocate Thuli Madonsela because obviously, legitimately, we think that you wanted to know whether people have nominated her. And we think it's a good thing that people have indicated that they would have loved her to continue, but unfortunately, as you know, the Constitution does not allow that. She only serves for 7-year term, and which is not renewable. And the advocate Malunga, has also, we've mentioned her because she's the current incumbent, she's the deputy. We are mentioning her because many people would be wondering whether, there is an appetite along those lines. And we are saying, yes, we have received a nomination from that one. The rest of the people, we are going to have, I'm also see that I have my members of the committee here. I don't want them to accuse me that, you see, you announce people who haven't been nominated before. We give you the mandate as the chairperson. So I'm not going to be able to tell you who else has been nominated, and please just accept that. Thank you. We will tell you when we shortlist. We will tell you, by the end of next week, you should be knowing we should be knowing everyone that has applied or that has been nominated, because we will post that in our website, the parliamentary website. So you will know exactly who has been nominated and who has not been nominated.
All right. I think we are covered. I'm taking another round, colleagues. Is it a follow-up, Gay?
If the chair could just respond to my question about the CVs and whether those are going to be published on Parliament's website, as well as the names.
I am so sorry about that. Regarding the CVs, we feel strongly that there has to be consent from the candidates themselves. However, it is a legitimate expectation from members of the public that if you are applying for a position of public protector, you should be open to public scrutiny. Your CV should not be a public record. It should not be a secret record. It should be a public record. But what we would want it to do, because we also want it to be, we wanted to ensure that this process is fair, not only to the members of the public, but also to those who have been nominated. We would actually be writing to them requesting their consent to make sure that, to get their consent, that their CVs be published. But we do not expect that there will be problems. However, there is information that may be of personal nature, and we do not think that we should be putting that to the public. Some people may not want you to know about the number of dependents they have, their state of health. There are quite a number of personal information that you will get in the CV. That is why we need to make sure that in our process of making sure that this process is transparent, we do not violate their rights as well to privacy, especially to those matters that are really strictly private in nature. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Before I hand to Paul, Paul, Alistine, and Marian. I think, Chair, there was a question about how many people that nominated the serving public protector. And if we can deal with that one, and then we
You know, for me right now, it's going to be very difficult for you to tell you how many people have nominated the public protector or have nominated Advocate Malunga. The reason being that we've received the nominations, and the information that I had to process this morning was the information that was just abridged, that is giving me, you know, that these are the people that have been nominated. And again, I think we also wanted to make sure that I don't have an advantage over the members, the other members of the committee. You know, I don't want to be seen to be already processing the information and selecting whoever that I think is desirable or not desirable. So basically what I can tell you is that they have been nominated, but I'm not able to tell you exactly how many people have actually nominated her. Thank you.
all right. Paul?
Hi, good afternoon, Chair. Paul Vecchiato from Bloomberg. Will the CVs, the information, be subjected to verification that, to make sure that the information supplied by people is correct? And will they also be subjected to security vetting, because the public protector does deal with a lot of sensitive information by the security agencies? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Alistine from Media 24. Chair, I just wanted to know, because you know the whole public participation process tend to just turn into a formality of crossing the T's and dotting the I's. What assurance can you give, especially now in light of your remarks about the letter of Corruption Watch, what assurance can you give that this public participation will actually be in fact meaningful? And then also, can you maybe give an indication as to whether there have been an MP nominated among those that have been nominated? Thanks. A member of Parliament. Yeah.
Marianne Merton, Daily Maverick. It's a clarification. The deadline is this Friday, I believe. Why would the names of those who applied and nominated not be made available Friday after 5 o'clock? Why did you say sometime next week? Then exactly what will happen? Is it going to be a simple press statement to say X, Y, Z have been nominated? And nothing more than that before you get to, I think it was in the middle of July when you discussed the shortlisting. And I would like to just ask you to perhaps elaborate around your concerns regarding the CVs and issues of privacy, where you included issues like state of health and dependence in matters of privacy. Given the position of the public protector, why would one be so sensitive around these things? Certainly if you apply to be a judge, your CV, including your ID number, including the number of dependents, including all sorts of things, are made public. If you take your mind back to the two recent processes that the Chief Justice's headed panel in terms of candidates to fill the IEC vacancies, all the applicants, whether they were successful or not, all of their CVs were publicly available to the fullest extent
even home addresses and cell phone numbers. So I'm thinking IEC is a Chapter 9 institution, public protector is that, why these sensitivities? And the other thing that I just wanted to also find out is this. No, don't worry. Thank you.
All right, when you are ready, Chair, you can.
Okay, let me start with Bromberg. The CV, the verification process is going to be twofold. We are going to have our own verification process, which is going to be done by the team that is supporting the committee. And basically, that process is very critical, especially in assessing the fit and proper aspect of the public protector or the candidate public protector. So we will do that, but there will also be the vetting that will be done by the appropriate state security agency, and that is done to all positions of this nature. So that will be done by the appropriate state security agency. So that is going to happen. Regarding the participation process, I just want to let you know that really it's not going to be about, it's not about ticking boxes and that kind of thing. And part of the reason why I have disclosed to you that the people that have been nominated, I know that it's going to be very difficult for the committee to decide, because we've received very good nominations. I mean, judging by what we have on the information that we have. So I'm merely saying it's not just about ticking boxes. And we also are going to be seriously considering issues of financial constraints, because at some stage I was talking to the team and I was saying to them, it would have been very good if we're going to have an opportunity to actually engage with each one of these people that have already been nominated, the 21 of them. But obviously, there are financial constraints that you also have to take into account, and that decision does not rest with me as the chair of the committee. It rests with the other authorities, the House Chairperson, the Speaker, and so forth. So we need to, that we've considered some of those issues, and obviously these are issues that we think are very important. And once more, I am assuring the members of the public that this is not about ticking boxes. It's very important for us to remember that public participation is the cornerstone of this society, of this democracy. And it's important that even as we appoint, because ultimately, out of all the people that would have been nominated, only one person will be given they will get the position. But we must satisfy ourselves that we've done everything in our power to get the best person out of all the best that we have, possibly, So I think it's important to mention that. Now, you are asking me about why sometime next week regarding the availability of CVs. We need to capture this information. The data has to be captured. And also, I want also to assure you that the information that is going to be in our website is not just going to be the name, surname, and that you have applied. No, we are going to have the qualifications, the experience, and so forth. The reason why we are exercising a bit of caution when it comes to, publicizing issues around the person, like personal information, that is not necessarily going to be significant. It's significant in deciding who gets the position of public protector. Like, I mean, the number of dependents, to me, I don't really think that that information is necessarily going to be relevant for us in terms of assessing the skills, the experience, the competency of the person that is applying. So I'm saying to you, if the candidate is giving us the green light, and please understand this, I am saying if the candidate is giving us the green light that we can make the information available, nothing will be censored. We are not going to extract that personal information, even on dependents and the addresses and what have you. But it's just a process that we think it's important that we get their own, to get their green light. And as I said earlier on, if we are applying for this position of public protector, you must understand that you are subjected to public scrutiny. And yes, maybe other people might come and say, no, we don't want that. And obviously that may actually count they may not count in their favor, because people will start asking, why are they not, open about this information? So I'm saying, the only thing that I am saying is that we wanted to get the consent of them when it comes to the public, to the personal information. Like I said, especially in respect of, number of dependents or their health, if they have disclosed their health status and what have you. Those are the kinds of things those are the kinds of areas that I think we need to be careful of. But otherwise, all the other information, as much as possible, will be made available. We are not going to be censoring any information. I'm not sure if I've covered all the questions, Temba.
You have, Chair. I think there's but one, the one that wants to know whether there is an MP that has been nominated.
Oh, well, the good news is there is no MP yet. So I think that so far there is no MP that has been nominated. But as you know, they can be nominated. And remember, it's still early days to say whether MPs are going to be nominated or maybe they're not going to be nominated. Who knows? Maybe Advocate Brettenbach sitting there, she's been nominated. We don't know. Maybe a nomination is still stuck on the mail somewhere.
She wouldn't accept the nomination.
So I'm saying it's still early days to say whether there are nominations, MPs who've been nominated. Thus far, no. But we will only be able to tell after the 24th. Thank you.
All right. Colleagues, I think if there's no other questions, okay.
Sorry, it's just a point of clarity because the chair did mention something about the elections and about circumstances and about whether the committee was going to be able to follow the timeline that you made public in May. Can you just clarify for me? I just want to know whether those dates, that timeline is still very much in place.
The timeline that has been communicated to you is that we are going to have the interviews after the elections. That still stands. We've also communicated with you that we will be tabling the report to the House by the 30th. That still stands. What is going to be impacted by impacted during this process is the shortlisting process, because we also have to get members. They are in different places, and as much as possible, we are sensitive, we are aware of what is happening around the country, and other members may not be available because of a range of other reasons during this process. We want to get the date where all the members are going to be present. And I must stress this is a multi-party process. And therefore, since it is a multi-party process, as much as possible, we want all the parties that are part of this committee to be present when we are actually doing the shortlisting. so that they also have their voice and they are heard and their own views are taken into account. So it's important that you ask this question, Kay, that, you know, it's just this process that we're talking about between now and the 3rd of August, you know, obviously, I mean, we are politicians after all. You know, people are going to be there involved in some campaigns and so forth. And we have to be realistic about that. That is why we are not going to be definite to you to say we are going to shortlist exactly by the, you know, by the 30th of July or something like that. We can't say that. We need to check first the availability of members. Thank you.
All right, colleagues, once more, thank you very much for honoring this media briefing. Thank you.